Welcome to the news behind the news. Today we're going to be talking about global markets. We've seen a sell-off in the last week and a half. China was no exception. However, the long-term opportunity in China remains. Today we're going to talk about China's inclusion in the MSCI index. Take a listen.
Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Asset News Behind News in 2018. Now we're gonna discuss the very interesting topic in China, which is the Asia market with Janette. We know that the MSCI will include China's Asia into its emerging market index in 2018, and then which will drive a lot of foreign investors to this market. So Janette, for those who are interested in the China's Asian market, what are some factors that they have to look at when investing in this market?
Yeah, I think there's one very interesting thing in China's stock market, which is called national team, or 国家队 in Chinese. This team includes Central Huijin Investment, China Security Finance Corporation, and Wu Tongshu Investment, and other state-owned asset managers. And this team invests actively in the Asia market. For example, in consumer goods and TMT, they have invested basically nearly all of the companies that are on the list of MSCI's inclusion. And also, not surprisingly, the national team is very interested in the financial sector, and they have 84% of their investment are in the financial sector. And I think this is one point that foreign investors should particularly pay attention to.
Yeah, of course, we know that the national team is definitely something that the foreign investors should look at. But apart from the national team, we also understand that there's also another thing that would significantly change the market sentiment, which is the regulation. In terms of the government policies, are there any regulatory changes that caught your eyes in the Asian market?
I think, as we all know, regulation is very important, especially in China.
Yeah.
And recently, China's government has issued its annual #1 document, which is definitely very important.
Yeah.
They state that the country will start to revitalize the agriculture sector. And in this case, a lot of Chinese analysts start to predict that the agriculture sector will be boosted. And they mentioned that the breeding, stocks relating to breeding, land reform, and internet will be attracting a lot of investment. Yeah, and also in addition to the agriculture sector, I think when I talk to those analysts, they mentioned that consumer goods and TMT are also very important in China, but they will attract a lot of foreign investors' interest as well. For example, in consumer goods, there's one sector which is very interesting, called Baijiu, Chinese Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And this sector, there's not much Baijiu-related stocks in Hong Kong. So, for example, Guizhou Maotai and Wuliangye, they are very potential. And also TMT sector, the Chinese TMT sector have been attracting a lot of attention in recent years. The strong theme of the technology stocks will be continuing in this year, but not all of the stocks from this sector will have good performance. The analysts tends to favor those equipment producers, for example, optical fiber, the kind of companies. So I think that's basically the sector outlook of 2018.
Yeah, of course, we have seen a lot of exciting development of Chinese Asia market, but still there are still a lot of risks out there.
Yeah.
So foreign investors are still have to be meticulous in stock selection and making great efforts in the due diligence. The question that me and Janette, especially at the asset, is that how the transparency of the Chinese Asia market can further improve in the future. But I guess we will have to wait and see in that sense.